Big up, big up, big up. Welcome, welcome, welcome all that are Reds in heart and in mind, soul, and everything else. We are in for a little match review. I know it's a little bit late in the hour considering the game was on earlier today, but I decided to hold off on giving a match review simply because I wanted to be able to allow for people to watch the unfortunate results of the North London derby. And again, Arsenal showing why football, if Arsenal wins, how they are just such a scourge on football. And I did say that out loud, yes. But all the same, it is one to remember for certainly because sometimes football rewards you, and then sometimes football punishes you. And then there's sometimes you get something in between. And that's what we had here because we walked out of a stadium with 3 points and three, some might say barely deserved points, but 3 points all the same. And there are 3 points that we desperately need to stay in this top five race. And they are 3 points that we will say thank you very much and just keep it moving. We did not control this game. We did not dominate this game in any bit or shape or form. For long stretches, I would say Liverpool did not even look like we were the better football side. That's how far you'd have to go with this game. The rhythm wasn't there. Composure wasn't there. The intensity flickered at best. I mean, that first half was just, again, another sense of this team being unable to start and get a conducive start to a game. Absolutely poor. But like we all know it, there is always a hope with this team. And when the moment arrived, the 96th minute, one player deserved the narrative. One player who's pretty much maybe some might say irrelevant for the entire game, or for good portions of the game, showed up. I know some were I've seen other rating shows that have been out there. I try to watch all of them or as much as I can, and some were very, very critical of the players in this game. Very, very critical and certainly very generous with others. But the 96th minute, we had that one shining moment last year at this grounds. We had one of our South Americans step up and deliver. I know some often berate that player still to this day for some odd reason, but he stepped up and got us 3 points. Today, it was his brethren who stepped up and got us 3 points. And that's all that really matters. So let's unpack it properly. I'd say I am unsure if we're going to have a panel with me, so you might just have me solo. And if you have me, whenever you have me solo, definitely you are asked to be my co-pilot as always, regardless if I have a panel or not. So I appreciate everyone joining in and watching this either on the replay or if you are watching this live, shout out to you as well. Big up to Hylor. Definitely big up, big up. Always a blessing to see an OG in the house. Let's unpack this game somewhat because what can we say? I'll give like a little bit of a match recap, I guess you could say, because I would start. The only part of this match that you really want to talk about is the end, because that's where the story began. This whole game, for the most part, was pretty much trash. It was upsettingly bad. This Allister thinks he won it once, and I thought at first I thought he did win it. I saw that it did hit his elbow or arm at some point, but that was after it also hit his back as well. It's a unique situation because I know you can't have a handball for a goal if it hits a portion of your arm or a portion of your body first. But I know also that you cannot score a goal if it hits any portion of your arm. So and being he's goal scorer, they took it away from us the first time. So, it was good pressure by Mac Allister, not giving up. He was pressing, reacted faster than anyone else in the red. Put it in the net. VAR intervenes, high handball. Again, I believe it's harsh, but those are the rules, and I'm willing to stand by that being the correct call. You can see it on replay. It grazes the elbow, but that was after again brushing the back, and that's why it's really harsh to have that happen. But for a lot of players, that's the emotional punch that trains you. I think, like, you see this, you see these 3 points. You're thinking smash and grab. You're already putting in your texts to your group chats or your tweets or whatever it is together, and to just rejoice in the fact of thank you very much. Let's get out of here and not look back. But the stadium there was able to breathe again. You heard how they reacted. It was one that was hard to see, very difficult to see, but it is what it is. I mean, Mac Allister didn't sit there and sulk. He didn't sit there and and allow for himself to get wrapped up into the emotions of the situation, despite the fact that he believed it was a goal, and he did say what he said after the game. Excuse me, but he stays switched on, and that's why I don't agree with some of the ratings I've seen for the player. By the way, I'm going to make a point of trying to saving that for the end, but you will hear my point even more definitively why I think it is unique that some people are just too sometimes wrapped up into the emotions of some of the things that happen. But then again, you might hit back and say maybe you're too wrapped up into the emotions of the actual goal that actually scored. All the same, um, it was really well done by Virgil van Dijk. Rises up, knocks the ball down. Mac Allister is already moving, already anticipating, already believing. That is elite midfielder mentality, I believe. Champion steel. It's a player who understands moments, and it is something that I thought was noteworthy. I really thought that it was noteworthy to say that this team didn't give up, despite the fact that they played a miserable game. Like I said earlier, they played an absolutely miserable game. So, shout out to Lee Wizkid. Shout out to Red Armchair Supporter. Good to see you guys with us. We are only, I think, broadcasting live on YouTube. So unfortunately, I don't think StreamYard still hasn't gotten whatever it is they need to get corrected set for X. So we won't have our Reds set to join us from X. But all the same, I hope that if they do see this in some way or some form, I hope that they tune in and say hello, give a shout, maybe make the effort to join us on YouTube sometimes, because as of right now, that seems to be a more reliable resource for you to get in touch and be connected to your Reds brethren. I don't know if you're with me on that, but do you think in the chat, do you think that this was just meant to be for us to win this one the way that we did? Was there something when watching this game? Did you have a feeling that there was going to be some type of and again, I openly admit I got the player wrong. Obviously, I wanted a 4-0 win. But I said truly, I think it's going to be a 2-0 win. We got a 1-0 win, all the same. Got the clean sheet, but uh, if I do have a panel, so the panel can back me up if they do join us. In that, I thought in my bones that we were going to get a result out of this game, despite us playing miserable. And why I thought we were going to get a result out of this game was because even though it was going the direction the way it was, I still thought that we would get a goal from Rio or Chiesa or or some or a player that has been overlooked or maybe maligned with unfortunate criticism and maybe undoingly excessive criticism this season. Um, whether it's in playing time, whether by the coach, or whether it's in performances or levels that they've been on. Um, I just felt that we were going to get a Darwin Nunez type result from that we got last year in this year. And I honestly thought that. The way that the game was going, I honestly thought that. And we'll get into Florian Wirtz and we'll get into a lot of those conversations as well. Um, but I honestly thought that it was going to go that direction. And again, when you're trying to keep pace with a league that has teams that are going through uh, um, are going through some good surges. Um, you know, coaches bounces. You have to keep pace. We saw Chelsea give us an opportunity today, and or not today, but yesterday, by getting the draw against a Burnley squad. And then today, we had to step up and take advantage of that. Now, Manchester United still could possibly win tomorrow, or they could draw or lose, and that would be beneficial for us as well, obviously. But that's for tomorrow. This is for today. The title race is not in our hands. Or we're not in the title race, but I mean, top 5 race is in our hands, and it's something we have to get used to. I have to really buckle down and take, for what it's worth, a team that I believe could get better and could get hot for all the wrong reasons. And what I mean by that is with performances like today, when you're probably supposed to lose and you still somehow get a win, for some reason, it maybe gets a little bit of ounce of confidence in you to go out there and push on. See what you guys are saying in the chat here. How they're saying first half really bad, second half bad, but those 7 minutes extra time really good. Yeah, there you go. We created more big chances than far, so deserve to win in Red Archer supporters' opinion. Okay. Asking about flow, we will get into the flow updates, at least the ones that I do have. Tyler saves a Hail Mary for sure, not Mentality Monsters. But above all, our team without our talisman verts is the difference between stinking out the place and looking good. Second clean sheet in a row, says Red Armchair Supporter. That's a big, big yes. Lee Whiskey thought we were fine in the second half. Okay. May not be blown away with slow first halves, but in games like today, it's clear we are sussing them out, says Lee. Let me get up some stats here to back up some of the comments that are being made by both us and the chat here. So we did control a little bit more of the momentum in the second half. Substitutions got. I thought the substitutions were decent. Look, the Florian versus disruption was scary. Before we even kicked the ball, obviously the rhythm shifted massively when we noticed that Florian Wirtz wasn't not only not a starter, but not even in the lineup. Apparently, he pulled up in the warm up. It's a suspected muscle issue. Obviously, late withdrawal, meaning that he was a withdrawal before we began kickoff. But he was replaced by Curtis Jones. Um, I guess we could all think that injuries happen. We understand that. That's not the issue. But the issue is definitely whether the structural response of the injury is something that showed that next man up steps up type situation. It's tough because we were under the hilt within 5 minutes of this game. You could tell that the spacing was off. You could tell that we were trying to, I guess, refocus the way that we were going to go about trying to create with the players and the formation, or more so the players and where they were playing within that formation we're at. And that's the whole thing. Um, the link between midfield and the attack was poor today. And the press, or lack of, looked like it was kind of half-hearted, I guess you could say, rather than coordinated. And I'm not saying that because it's just about personnel. I mean, I think it's more about sometimes the way that we approach trying to create the shape and clarity of what we're trying to bring about on the pitch within that first 15, 20 minutes of the game. I spoke about that earlier in the preview, and I said that the one thing we can't do is um, we can't give the Forest fans a moment to get settled into this game and start believing that they could beat us. Because in that first half, Nottingham Forest was sharper. They seemed to be more, as the moments and the minutes wore on, they seemed like they were hungrier. They were direct in their transition. Um, Callum Hudson-Odoi's early run immediately set off warning bells that our defensive spacing had to be better. It made, obviously, we're fortunate to have Ali in goal, but it was a difference maker. We couldn't retain second balls. I don't know why this is a recurring conversation starter. We could not retain second balls. I think and what's sad about it is that it seems like against certain teams, especially lower level, the teams that like to play the low blocks, especially those kinds of clubs, it seems like they rather allow for us to get to that first ball because they know they will be first to respond to that second effort. That's troubling. We couldn't control the midfield duels. Our set pieces were mounting up against us. Forrest absolutely dictated the tempo in that first half. Because I'm not trying to sugarcoat it at all. This is no top red analysis or breakdown here. This is some real conversation in that this was a game where Forest were the better side in that first half. And Liverpool had to react. in that second half because we looked reactive, not proactive. We looked like we were on our back heels as opposed to on that front foot. And that's why when the second half hit, there was a dramatic switch, but I wouldn't call it dominance. I would not call it dominance. I thought that the second half was not really a transformation, but it um, was a stabilization. It was a way to, you know, the I don't know if the patient was in critical, wasn't flatlining, but he certainly needed some resuscitation, and he needed to get his vitals stabilized. The Jones miss from close range, really, really, I thought that was going to be a goal for Cujo. The Eketike, who finally got some space, but was denied the header. He's got to do better. Let's be honest. That's got to be a goal. He had every place to pick to score that goal, and unfortunately, he chose the wrong spot to head that ball down into. But all the same, Liverpool began to live a little bit more in Forest's half that second half, and rather than survive in it, they started to try to press a little bit more, push the narrative a little bit more. We all know that the VAR drama was what it was, but the final punch was somewhat poetic. Final punch was that Mac Allister, who got denied earlier, got the sticks, you know, uh, get knocked down, but stood right back up and said, "Let's go again." This performance-wise was a narrow escape. I'm not going to. It's a narrow. It's like I know you guys call it a smash and grab. It was ugly. It was maybe unfortunate if you're a Forest fan to have that kind of result end up with 3 points going our way. If we gotten a draw, it would have been it would have been not acceptable, but it would have been a understandable result. But the all important thing is we got the result, plain and simple, the 3 points, and that's all that really matters. All that really matters. Um, I'm going to share. So the Florian Wirtz update again. I spoke on how Florian had come up with a little bit of a muscle. He felt a little bit of a muscle tweak or twinge of the muscle. It's going to be evaluated. I don't, and I'm not. I don't have an absolute definitive. Oh, he's going to be out for this amount of days or something along those lines. But I'm hoping that it is something minor. We all are obviously, and it is fortunate. I think when's our next game? Let me see one thing. Our next game is until another week from now. So he'll have some time off to recuperate it. And even so, I mean, even if it is something that is on the verge of do we want to test it or not, West Ham traveling to Anfield is a game that we could possibly be able to either figure things out. We do have to go then to Wolves, but these next two games are two games again that we should win. We absolutely should win these next two games. Let's see. Red Armchair supporter asks, is Eketike's new hairdo that's affecting his heading? I don't know. It's a good question. It's a very good question. Um, has anyone uh, has anyone any theories why we are so bad in the first half? It's embarrassing. Fans should have a 50% knockoff of the on the price of the tickets. Possibly so. Possibly so. Um, but it's a good question. I think that my quick analysis or my quick interpretation of why we would be poor in the starts of games is I think that sometimes when you are a team that's looking to quote unquote control a game with your own progressions and the likes rather than some quick, let's just uh, the blitzkrieg style, heavy metal style that we're used to from the past gaffer. Um, that is probably why you don't see us start games the way we want to start them. We kind of like feel our way into the first half, and sometimes it is a dark place to kind of feel out where we are in that room. Um, but that's just my quick interpretation of why it would be the case. Shout out Bonkers, by the way. Shout out to Bonkers. Um, let's see what it is. Is that let's say this is from the first goal. I think this is from the first goal. What a way. I truly thought it was going to be Chiesa that scored the goal. I said that I thought it was going to be. I thought Chiesa was going to come into this game, and get us a game winner, and give Arnie more of a headache to figure out whether he needs to start Chiesa or at least give him more minutes than he actually does. I think if anything today, we saw we saw Liverpool we saw Liverpool get a bright sign, a more than welcome sign that we need to give Rio more minutes than we actually do. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be for Cody. It could even be for Mo Salah. I'm going to go as bold as to say that both Cody and Mo were passengers in this game. But let me bring in a panel member here. Big up, JK. How are you?
Big up, bro. What you saying?
Just reacting to where it is. This was. Let me share with this. This was the the reason why. You should make it even bigger. Um, the reason why
Oh, we got the
we
goal, yeah?
why we got the goal.
Yeah. I was a bit worried because the angle we got, you could only see Virgil sort of stepping in front of everyone.
Yeah,
I was,
but he's
I
such a
just had a
big
funny.
guy.
He's a
Yeah.
big guy, you know what I mean? And he sort of covered everything there, and I couldn't really see anything from Sangera behind him, so I was a bit
Hmm.
worried.
Yeah.
But then again, it was sort of close. Look at it.
Yeah. You can see an absolute. It's like a toenail in basically difference as to why this is this was ruled onside, um, and rightfully so. By the way, I think it was a good call. Come out with this, but the result was this right here: Macca getting an absolute brilliant second curtain calling. How about that? Second curtain calling. Soon enough, they're not going to allow for. They're going to have to. They're going to be mindful. Forest is going to be mindful if there's South Americans playing in the second half against them when they're Liverpool Reds, because that's two in a row for our South Americans to have last minute goals scored at Forest. So, um, but what a goal it was, by the way. Really well taken goal. Really well taken. I'm going to get you guys a little bit of taste of what is the coaches, what I'm calling the coaches' corner, and even the players' point. And what that is this. Um, First, we'll deal with Arnie Slot. Arnie did not hide. He spoke on several topics, and one of the topics that he brought up was the late winner. And on the late winner, he said, "You score in the last minute. There's always an element of luck. But so many times this season, we deserve more than we got. Not today. A draw would have been a fairer result. That is honest. I agree with that. I said that earlier, actually, but." We've been on the short end of the stick for a couple of different games now, and it was nice to get a little bit of luck go our way. You know, like, and sometimes there's always that statement of "I'd rather be lucky than good." That's somewhat of what it was today. On Verts, he says we've missed players throughout the whole season. Another miss, but he's in really good form. Someone else has to do a job. I don't know exactly what that's supposed to mean, but because I mean, people were asking him about Verts and whether his injury, but I guess it is what it is, and I guess that's maybe another way of saying that the next man up, which was Curtis Jones, had to step up today and perform for us. And he was asked on the midfield switch. He said, "We lost every ball. We could not keep the ball for 1 second." And I agree that that was an issue. And it's the reason why Arnie Slot stopped playing Dami Sabasalai as our right back. That was my quick and short answer. You know, things certainly changed when we saw a little bit of a change up in the second half. But all the same, I do. Maybe that's a little bit me getting a little bit tempered. But if you know you're losing every ball, if you can't see your midfield, if you can see your midfield being overrun, you got to do something about it immediately. The reshuffle can't wait 45 minutes. We could have easily gotten scored on in that first half. And if you're not going to recognize that tactical recalibration, then that's going to be demerits for you in my book when it comes to your rating. But again, the first half trip is becoming a pattern, and patterns become problems, and I don't want to see that happen to this team. We've got to be better in the first half. We've got to be better in the first 20 minutes. We've got to be automatic start to the game. An automatic, let's not try to wait and get settled in and figure out control and how we're going to draw the tempo. Let's be assertive, proactive with our approach.
Yeah, I was saying like pre-game, and bless up everyone in the chat: Redam, Cher, Abdul, Helio, Bonkers, Nems, Lee Whiskey as well, bro. Hope you're cool, man. I said pre-game, I said, bro, this is the type of game. If you allow Forest to bully us, because Forest tried to bully us, they're not good as us with the ball. Player for player, we're better than them. So what they use what their players have got in their mindset is, let's try to bully them. And the game, we were pretty poor to start off. We played poor today. I'm not gonna snowflake it and say we were great and we deserve that win and blah blah blah. When you said to me with 10 minutes left, we're gonna win the game and a clean sheet, I'll be like, you're having a laugh. But
I did say that though. I did say don't act like I didn't say that. I said that in the group chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're gonna pretend like I didn't say it. Okay.
No. Yeah.
I said that. I did say Chiesa was gonna score it. Oh, maybe you didn't see that. Maybe you didn't see me say it. I said it like midway through the second half.
But all in all, bro, I knew we'd win because we had to. Because especially after Chelsea dropped points yesterday, we had no choice.
Right.
So now we need Everton to do a job for Liverpool.
Yeah.
They need to realise they're from Liverpool. They're not from Manchester, even though they give them their best players and all that. So that's tomorrow. But we were poor today, and I feel what Helio said here about as soon as the worst news dropped, I was gutted, bro. I'm like, who are we going to get in the team now to connect everything?
Yeah.
Who's going to get the ball and just do 1-2s, 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 get us moving? No one really did it in the first half.
Nope.
Mac Allister, who got the winner, for me was terrible. Lost the ball all the time, wrong passing, this, that, and the other. So in that way, I think Virgil was top. I think Virgil was solid. But all in all, bro, we were so poor. But there's the sort of games you got to get a result out of. Even though you're playing poor, you got to win. Happy days, especially against a Forest team who I can't stand. And they beat us 3-0. So it was nice getting the result there. Could have gone pear-shaped. So next week we've got a week's off again now. And judging Forest played on Thursday, that first half, you'd think it was us who played on Thursday. You know what I mean?
You would have thought. I mean, look, this actual area or the segment I call Players Point is one where Mac Allister got in front of the microphone, and when given the opportunity to speak, he said that he had mixed feelings about the game. He said we did not play very well. There's a lot to improve. I think that despite despite some people might be, I don't want to say harsh, but some might be very critical of Mac Allister today. I thought that is another sign of good leadership on Macca. I think Macca is a stand-up character when it comes to, being a guy who plays for the badge, gives his all, which that does not matter what badge it was. When he played for Brighton, he did the same. But what I am saying is that he is a Red now. He plays for 100% effort and heart, and I think he's good leadership. And I think that on the disallowed goal, he says it's harsh, but a fair decision. He didn't really boo-hoo it too much. He said no deflection, no complaint, accountability is what I saw there. And then he said, I told Hugo it was going to be our goal, meaning that we were going to go on and get this goal. That line tells you everything I think you need to know about this guy named Macca, his mindset, in my opinion. He was not waiting for the moment. He was expecting it to happen. And he went out and was proactive to the sense that he made it happen twice if necessary. So it is what it is. So what was your feel good moment of the game? I usually open with that, but because I didn't have a panel in the beginning, I didn't. So I'll ask now. What was your feel good moment of the game?
Getting the winner at the end, bro. You can't get better than that. You know what I mean?
That's pretty easy said. Yeah.
Considering I thought Mac Allister was really bad, but for some reason he got into his head he wants to score today. He tried it. First one didn't count. Had a funny feeling about that one, and then got the winner. So that was for me the best moment of the game.
Okay. See what the chat is feeling. Is there the goal, says Nems. Big up Nems, by the way. Allister wasn't the worst today. That honor belongs to Gakpo and Salah. And as a stat man, he finds it so hard to believe that both our wingers have fallen off a cliff. No way it's a coincidence. What's your opinion on that then? What is the reason why they've fallen off a cliff? Tell us, High Lord, and maybe, or do you have an answer for him? Maybe.
About the Gakpo Salah?
Yeah, about the fall off that we've seen in their level of performances.
Oh, in Liverpool's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's worrying. But then again, what was the main mission of today? Pre-kickoff is to get 3 points and a clean sheet if possible, and we did that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Slot sort of steadied the ship. We're defensively better than we have been. When you look at the results, I think by the Bournemouth and the Man City 3 goals we let in each game. Not 3 goals, we let in 5 goals in them games, yeah. By that, defensively, we've been sound. Better anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I just felt like we weren't going to let a goal in. I just, you know, I mean, even though Forest were busy, I didn't really worry about it. I think the longer the game went on, and then when we got Rio and Chiesa on, they sort of changed the game up a bit. Bit of different energy. Rio cutting on the right, getting the cross in, this, that, and the other, causing a bit of mayhem. As soon as
Mm-hmm.
the goal went in for Mac Allister off his elbow or back, I think it was his back. It sort of rustled their feathers, and we took advantage of that by getting the winner. So we finished the game off really well. Normally, we don't really finish the games off well, but we still seem to be giving Forest the opposition the ball for the last 12 to 15 minutes of the game. We've got to cut that out. So we start off the game giving the opposition the ball. We finish the game of giving the opposition the ball. We need to change that around a bit because for me, if the strikers were at the races, they could have been 2-3-0 up in that first half, even though there were clear cut chances. And at the end, yeah, they could have got a winner when it was 0-0. So I think Slot's a bit. Maybe he trusts the defence and that much. He says, you know what, give the opposition the ball. Let them have it. You know what I mean? So weird.
Mm-hmm. First win for Slot over Forest. That's a wild stat, isn't it?
That's what peace bonkers. Yeah, that's a mad stat. Yeah, that's why we had to win today. I was saying having this Forest all of a sudden trying to do us again. We had to beat Forest today. That was the ultimate thing. That was the mission today. Beat Forest, and we did it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. This one they got into, by the way.
It's true, Elio. It's bleak. That performance today by our attack and midfield, I would say, was poor. Bleak. Our defense was sound today. Our attack was non-existent, man. That was probably one of the worst attacking displays of a team we've had all season. That was poor. We couldn't string a few passes together. We couldn't do nothing. Like, what's going on? You know, like we're Liverpool Football Club, and we sort of playing first gear football, first gear, second gear. I can understand it which way he's coming from, Arnie Slot. But it's a gamble as well. Because if you're giving opposition the ball at the start, they can set in, get into the rhythm quicker than you guys, and score 2-3 goals against you. Right. You know, then sort of tactics, he needs to sort of change that up a bit, Brown.
Yeah.
I don't know how Mac Allister got man of the match. Carling man of the match. I was like, bruv, he was poor today. He would even tell us he was poor. He got us to 3 points. That's the beauty of it all. But he was poor, man. Yeah, hence why for me, Van Dijk probably my man of the match. Sorted.
Okay.
Van Dijk was
we'll get into man of the matches and all that. I know. I have you know what I can understand being honest when it comes to a player being poor for the entire match or being poor during the match. But I know that plenty of times, which is interesting. I know plenty of times when we've seen the same from Mohamed Salah, for instance. Or Mohamed Salah has been an afterthought. Some people might have forgot that he was even part of the game. And then he steps up and gets us a winner. And then all of a sudden, it's Mohamed Salah is the best this and he's the best that, and I'm giving them a high rating. I'm giving this. I'm getting that. It's an interesting perspective. I'm not judging your perspective, JK. I'm just saying that some of the sentiment I've seen online with how sometimes people go and say like, oh, it's Salah, this, Salah, that, and yet there's been plenty of games where Salah has been ghost, and that he steps up and gets the game winner. And I'm one of the first to acknowledge that hey, would I've liked to see you play a better game? Absolutely, but you definitely have to give points where points are warranted for a player that steps up and gets you a game winner, or gets you a goal when it counts, gets you a goal that matters. That's just my opinion, at least. So I saw
Yeah.
I saw some of the other I saw some other shows ratings for the players, and I saw like they were very, and I'm not disputing that Mac Allister did not have a fantastic game stat wise, or even for the majority of the game, but it is a certain type of mentality of a player that you must have to look past the fact that you maybe had a stinker of a game, and you find something inside you to step up, not once but twice, and produce. Because so often when you're having stinkers, you allow for that to you sink into that hole. You sink into that sunken place. And some players allow for that to affect them, and others, I think, that have true quality and true measure of being what it means to be a champion, they are the ones that can step up and rise above despite the fact they've had a horrible game. And I just think Macca showed that today. But maybe I'm doing a little bit too much football romanticism for it. Maybe I'm being too much of the football romantic here.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. There you go. Let's see what's that. Instead of saying, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Talking about something in the doing jokes in the chat. all the same. How about we get into this player ratings? This is going to be the two of us in the chat, so it should go pretty swimmingly. Surprised Lee. I thought Lee was going to be a part of the show today because
he's tired after the game, bro. He was playing, innit? He had his few moments. He's traveling back with him now.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe that. He was all psyched. He was the one that asked. He's like, I got to get this stuff off my chest. I'm like, all right, cool.
Okay,
yes,
bro.
Yeah, he's ready to rock and roll. He's ready to rock and roll. I don't know, but well, I'm sure we'll hear, or if we have the pleasure of having him on the show tomorrow, I'm sure we'll hear from him tomorrow, his ideas and thoughts on the game. So I'll even try to send him one last little hello. I'll send him a Lionel Richie, since we're talking about him yesterday. I'll send him a little Lionel Richie here. Let me see. All right. Let me get yep, we'll do that. Let me see.
It's true, Helio. Right back is one of the easiest positions to play. So, well, the thing is, if you put Szoboszlai midfield, you've got to opt for, you've got to take someone out, and I don't think he wants to take Gravenberch and Mac Allister out. So it's one of them. Like for me, bro, Gapco non-existent again.
Well, let's get into it. Let's get into this. Let's get into the player ratings. Since it's only the two of us, we don't have to be short, and and you can give your you can give your full thoughts on the players and the reason why you're giving them the ratings that they are. Let's just begin with Ali. Ali, you can give. I even have set up so that we can give a number rating and or a letter grade. So, or I'll even convert it to letter grade if you want to do vice versa. So, for Ali, what was your rating for Ali?
A 7, bro. Clean sheet. Never really had to make big saves.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of them games. It was weird. But for me, a 7, clean sheet, job done.
Okay. All right. I thought he was he has some early decisiveness with that Hudson-Odoi effort. Distribution was okay. It kind of wavered, but something that's surprising because normally we don't say that about Ali. Normally he's like, top notch when it comes to distribution. But clean sheet matters, obviously, and I agree. I had him at a 6 because he didn't have to do much, but I'll knock him to a 7 for the clean sheet.
Yeah, his kicking could have been better. Yeah, that's what I mean, Helio. Because Wirtz was missing, Salai could have just slotted into that midfield, and Jones could have played right back. Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, clean sheets makes it 7 for me.
All right. 7 for High Lore. All right, cool. Ali's kicking was woeful. Yeah, it was. It's something. I don't know what's up with that, but I don't know if it's a confidence thing or what, but he needs to figure something out.
No, that's what that is. Ali had the ball a few times today, and back in the days when we had Mane and all these guys, as soon as the corner came in from the opposition, Alisson got the ball. He is on his toes to boot that ball or throw it out to someone to make an attack. He ain't got that no more, bro.
It's a difference.
So,
it used to be his first eye was to see if Salah was like clear, to give him a nice little
Mane.
long throw, or even Mane as well. Yeah, but the Salah isn't really providing that for him this year, and Gakpo isn't Mane when it comes to that skill. All right, Kirkes. I'd say Kirkes. You could argue that Kirkes has been for the early second half. If you consider January to be the halfway mark for a season, I would go as far as to say that Mane, I gotta say Mane, Kirkes is possibly has been one of our best players in the second half of this season. I would go as far as to say that. Yeah.
I've got to agree, bro. Kirkes, probably one of my man of the matches as well today. He just gets stuck in, bro. He don't mess about. Top. You know what? I'm going to give him an 8. Kirkes.
Okay.
He's a bull terrier, exactly. I'll play him in as a DM.
Yeah, I thought Kirkes was balanced today, which is good to see. He wasn't just all like adrenaline and no real balance or direction, but he was balanced defensively. He wasn't exactly the most offensive, influential person on the pitch, but I still thought that, again, he did not create a negative on our half of the pitch. I thought he was concise with that. I gave him a 7, but you give him an 8. Let's give him a 7.5. How about that? I'm gonna go right in the middle. Go 7.5. Give him a C plus. Bring in Monte. Okay. Big up Nalante, Iguchi. I know Nalante's probably not happy. Hmm. He's so happy that he's his microphone's maybe censoring him right now. Who knows? Oh,
Yeah, big up, man.
there you go. There you go.
But yeah, something's wrong with my Wi-Fi. I don't know. It's when it comes on, it just has your screen loading. Don't know why. But I've changed it to my mobile data. But yeah, big up myself, man. Big up JK as always, brother. And big up everyone in the chat.
Bro.
Bonkers gave him Red Arm Chase Sport gave him an 8. Bonkers gave him an 8. Hyler, what is your rating for Kirkez after saying what you just did? What was your rating for you want if you want you can play catch up because we're not that far into the ratings. We've only rated so far Ali.
Cool. Ali, just a solid 6. Oh,
Solid 6. I can understand.
yeah,
I gave him a
6. Yeah,
too.
yeah,
I gave him
6.
6, but I bumped it to a 7 since he had a clean sheet.
Yeah, I'll go to 7 clean sheet. Yeah, he didn't have anything really trouble, but he made, to be honest, he made a good one-on-one save with Hudson Odoi in the first half.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
said too.
and after that, there's 1 or 2 just tipped over, nothing major, solid, reliable. Big up, Whiskey. Big up, Archer. You done know.
For Kirkez, that's our rate. That's my rate. That's my rating.
7.5, 8. Yeah.
My rating and JK split in the middle. I did the King Solomon on that one, but
he's a wise man in the Bible.
Yeah,
I thought
he was a wise man.
I thought there's only. I mean, I'm sure we're going to get onto it, but the only players that for me had a good game was Ali, VVD, Ibu, and Kirkez. That kind of just sums it up. So yeah, I thought Kirkez was good. I don't know why he's taken off. Like Robbo,
I do. I have a theory, but yeah.
Well, no, go on. Let me hear it. What's your theory?
My theory is the same reasons why. For the same reasons why he gave Kirkez early exits earlier this year. He mentioned about the fact that Kirkez is not able to go 90 minutes with the same level of intensity that he starts games off with. And we all agree he is like, was it hell in a handbasket or something like that? I think they call it, whatever, or he is definitely a lot of bottled aggression, but I just don't know if I just don't think I don't think we need it. He thought we need that. He thinks that maybe Robbo is a more centered and focused, and we can get 15, 20 minutes out of Robbo with a player that he knows is going to know how to not get, bullied, how to not get maybe coerced into giving away cheap fouls. Like, he just went with the football IQ towards the end of the game, I thought. I think the same for the Gomez treatment, or the Gomez substitution too.
Okay, I just still think it's a strange one because
I'm sorry. And last point. Sorry about that. And the reason why I said the same for Gomez being substituted in was because of I just think that Dami Szoboszlai presents a better pressing element in our midfield than Curtis Jones does. Not saying Curtis Jones can't press, but I'm just saying he presents a little bit better of a consistency of a presser. And again, you then put a player that is more suited to playing right back defensively in a game. And I thought that was why he made the substitution.
Fair enough, but I just didn't see any. I didn't see Kirkers run out of steam at the end. I thought he was fine. He could have done the 90 minutes. So, but I just think it was a needless substitution, really. I mean, Robbo was all right. I'm not saying he's rubbish, but he didn't really offer anything much. Wasn't like a
Do you
big
think?
like.
You think that maybe? Do you think? My question is to both of you and to the chat too. Do you think that Arnie Slot was playing for the draw? Do you think
Oh,
he put in two players? Because he bought
mm,
off Salah and Cody, so he took off two offensive players for two offensive players.
yeah.
But do you think that he had to play? He was playing for the draw by putting in two more defensive-minded players, two more players that are more defensively acute at playing the role of fullback for us. Let's not get it twisted. Right back, Joe Gomez is a better right back than Damas Boslai. Robbo is, I don't want to say a better left back than Kirk has currently in form or whatever, but football IQ and defensively, you would probably trust Robbo to be the person that doesn't, make a silly mistake or something than you would Kirk has in this situation. So you want with experience. Maybe, maybe not. Or am I reaching?
I hear you. I think you're just probably looking too much into, in my opinion, anyway. Again, yeah, I don't understand those substitutions. Kirkers, I mean, Joey, yeah, fine. A little bit of steel just in case of Forest come into it, because 0-0 is a game could go either way, and maybe you could look at it as giving a bit of steel at the back, solidified,
Mm-hmm.
and then because we weren't playing well, and to give us more impetus for the players in the midfield and forward to attack. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
a bit more freely. You could look at it that way. But the Kirkus
Mm-hmm.
one, again, I didn't understand that he was fine. I didn't see any sign of tiredness. We did need Robert to come on, and not saying he had anything gone, but when he came on, he got beaten for pace. And I know he's aging from, what was it? He was one of the subs, the first wingers, you know what I mean? That nearly created the jump. So it was a
Mm-hmm.
waste of a sub. We didn't need Robbo. Like, Kirkus was fine for me. But in terms of Kirkus's rating, yeah, I'll give him a 7. Yeah, solid 7. I thought he was good. Well, very solid.
Well, start us off with Ibu then. What was your rating for Ibu?
Um, yeah, I thought Evo had a good game. I'll give him an 8.
All right, all right.
I'll give him an 8.
How
I
about
thought he was solid.
JK? Jay Kirkes. I call him Kirkes now.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
That's why I like the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah,
Yeah.
Kirk gets fair play, top lad. Get stuck in.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't mess about.
I could call you Jay Kanate too, because it's okay name too.
I think,
All right.
like you were saying about, you reckon he wanted to get a draw and that, but Red Armchair says there he wouldn't have chucked on Chiesa and Rio just like that if he wanted a draw. I think he needed a win,
Mm-hmm.
and we got it. So,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
and
Kirk
could
gets
you
fair play.
have maybe thought that he went for the win, and then he saw that Rio and Chiesa weren't resulting in that, maybe he second guessed himself for those substitutions. It wasn't like taking Gakpo or Salah saying that they weren't doing anything all games,
Mm-hmm.
So taking those two players off wasn't necessarily, whoever you brought on was probably going to be a plus or a plus rather than a minus for performance wise. But maybe he thought I've got to make sure defensively I'm covered, maybe with these two players that they're not going to look for Chiesa and Rio to provide any type of coverage for you defensively,
Mm.
So,
Yeah, Canate for me an 8 as well.
An 8? Okay. All right,
Mhm.
all right. Okay. I came with 7.5, but I'm willing to go for an 8. I think he's probably I could argue that he was our best defender today.
Him or Virgil? I think Virgil was top. I think Kanate. I always say this, like in football, if you want bigger wages, show the club you care. And number one thing is to concentrate. Kanate has done
Right.
that since he's come back from his bad news. And what a top player he looks when he does that. We've had 3 clean sheets in a row now. You know, we ain't had that
Right.
all season, bro. So, them 3 clean sheets, that's with Kanate coming back into the team and that. Good. It's good to see. But I just felt that attacking wise, not great today, bro. First time in a long time, he ain't not great attacking.
Okay. How about for our captain, Mr. Virgil van Dijk? What would you give him? What would you give him, Virgil? What would you, I almost called you Kanate. What would you give him, Virgil? JK.
It's Kanate.
Kirk
Yeah, I mean,
Kanate.
JK's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Virgil van Dijk.
Right. Wood.
Or Virgil can kike.
Yeah, right. Wood. Wood.
No.
Wood.
He was top, bro. 8 out of 10 for me.
8 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah, he was played like a captain at the back, bro. Yeah.
Okay. DVD gets a 6 from Bonkers, gets an 8 from Red Armchair Supporter. Okay. What about you, Delonte? What you've given Virgil?
Yeah, he made one crucial tackle. I think Jesus would have been gone through, and he nicked the ball. So yeah, he was solid, man. Him and Ubu, wherever they worked on the training ground defensively, we've been better lately with set pieces and headers. So yeah, he gets the same as me. I thought they're both as good as each other. 8.
8 it is. 8 it is.
Would you give him 12?
I gave him a 7.5.
Oh, same. Well, similar to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's because he didn't have he was solid, but it wasn't like he had some. I don't know. Maybe for me, it wasn't like he had that much. It wasn't like Forrest was so incredibly skilled offensively that he was having to take on a lot of different things. I'll even show you what I mean. He was 7 out of 4. He was 3 out of 7 for his aerial duels. He had 0 for 0 for ground duels. With 2 recoveries, 1 block shot, 5 clearances, 1 interception. Committed 1 foul. So yeah, I don't know. This is 7 defensive contributions as opposed to Ibu had 11 contributions. He was 2 for 2 for tackles, 3 interceptions, 5 clearances, 1 block shot, 6 recoveries, 3 out of 6 for his duels, 3 out of 6 for aerial duels, 1. Committed 3 fouls, but still the same. I thought he was a solid player. But I'll go with the 8. I could be coerced into going with the majority. No worries.
Yeah, you better move on.
Yeah, there you go.
Jokes, all jokes, but yeah.
How about for I would say arguably the man of the season for us so far, player of the season so far for us, Dominic Szoboszlai. Dominic Sobos no lie.
Well, look, I mean, we've done the right back thing to death. I mean, but Slot did change after 25 minutes. I don't think he was great at all. He had a poor game, but he never kept trying. He kept trying. He was a bit loose today for me. 4.
Dominic Szoboszlai a 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's an agenda going on there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, for me, a 6, bro. I give him a 6. He wasn't great. But he got a clean sheet playing as right back, didn't he?
Oh, you didn't get a clean sheet, to be fair. He was changed after 25 minutes.
Yeah, he got
Nah,
changed.
Yeah.
he's got half a clean sheet.
But that's the reason. But that's the reason why I think is you can get a better performance out of Thomas Bosley in the midfield than you can at right back, despite the fact that it's not saying he's not a bad utility player, ability to play pretty much anywhere on the pitch. But I just thought that our midfield had a little bit more of a bite with him involved at the 10 than we did with Curtis Jones trying to play the 10.
Yeah, I mean, Curtis can do it, but it just wasn't happening. Like, I don't know again if it was a shock of words. Sorry, we'll get into Curtis. All right, let me not digress. We'll focus on Sabo.
So, yeah,
all right, you
6.5 from Hylor. You gave him a 4.
I'll bump it up to a 5. Just a 5.
Imagine that you understand that, but Slot doesn't. Okay, yeah, I know. There's a lot of things I understand that apparently Slot does not have the capacity. Just don't have the capacity. 6.5 also. Okay, all right. Yeah, I gave Dom actually a 5.5, but let's give him. If I give him a 5, that means he got to hit an F for a game. Yeah, good. He was a part of that. He was a part of the build-up play for that. Did he get the assist for that?
Oh no, he did. No, did he? I'm trying to remember. Did he? I think he did. You know. I think he did. He whipped the ball in, didn't he?
He was the person that whipped the ball in, but apparently, I guess he didn't get the credit for it. No, it was an unassisted goal. It seems like, or at least that's what's marked down as. Jeez, 5. I guess it's gonna have to be. We're gonna have to give you an F grade, brother. I'm sorry to say. That's harsh. I think it's harsh, but maybe I'm being too nice.
Yeah, you are.
You're way too nice. I already did my nice. Oh, we're gonna go to Macca. I already did my nice little football romantic pitch for Macca earlier. So let's go with Grav. Oof, Grav is one of Grav's most. This is one of Grav's worst games I've seen him play.
Yeah. It's been poor recently, but oh my god, today, jeez. Just out of curiosity, I don't do stats. What was his stats?
Let's see. Grav's stats were. Do I know what his defensive stats were? Dribbling, passing. Which would you like to know?
All please. Defensive. Actually, let's focus on the defensive side of things.
I can tell you what his offensive was, at least for shots.
Mm-hmm.
For shots, and there's 0.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. For passing was pretty poor too. Let me see. How about for dribbling? 46 touches, 3 unsuccessful touches, 1 out of 2 dribbles, 8 possession lost, 8 carries, 1 progressive carry. And then let's see, defensively, what did he do? Defensively, he had 9 contributions. He was 0 for 1 for his tackles, 4 interceptions, 3 clearances, 1 block shot, 3 recoveries, 2 out of 4 for his ground duels, 1 out of 2 for his aerial duels, and 1 foul.
Yeah, not great, but a little bit better than I expected. But he was awful today. Did he give you a rating for Sabo?
Yeah, I gave him a 6.
Oh, 6, sorry. Apologies. Okay. Grab was awful. There's no grave. He was lazy gravy. He was awful today, honestly. I could go really bad, but I'll be generous. I'm only going to give him a 2.
Oof! Wow.
Yeah, he was bad.
That's for getting changed first half and getting changed for the second half. That's the point.
Exactly. There you go, JK. There you go.
He was terrible. He weren't great. Gravenberg. I'll give him a 4.
Wow.
Our midfield was terrible, bro. It was non-existent.
Yeah.
I'm not even tell you. I'm not even give my grade. All right, so let's go. Off
What was it? What's the grade?
No way.
Give it 12.
No way.
You gave him a 7, didn't you?
No, I didn't go that far.
Yeah.
I gave him a. I thought he was this. I gave him a 6, but
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah.
because I gave Dom a 5.5. So
Yeah, I bet. Oof. Yeah, it didn't even dumb. Oof.
yeah, I thought he was like maybe a half step better than, but he was poor today. So, but we'll stick with you gave him a 2, right? And
Yeah, I gave him a 2.
So actually, since I gave him a 6, I'll go with 4. Wow, that's low. I think that's the lowest grade I've seen him have all season. Ouch. 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 Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh man, when I see that for both Dom and Grab.
We need some milk.
All right,
Yeah.
Let's look at my guy, Macca. What was your rating for Macca? My grade's only high. I'm just telling you, my grade is high for himself, even though he had a crap game.
Okay, well, I am not gonna. I mean, the only 2 good things Macca did was have 1 goal disallowed and a goal.
Yep.
Apart from that, again, poor. I don't know what's happened to him. Again, he does try. I will give him that. A bit like Sobbo, he does try, but he just obviously he's never been the fastest player, but he was just poor, just passes, touches, but he was in there in the right place, for both goals. I mean, there's the first one, of course, for me, I think that's harsh. I mean, the guy just turned his back. His arms was tucked in. How they give that as a handball is a joke. Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But he was in there in the right time and he got the goal, he got the tap in. So fair play to him, but it's not going to detect for a good game. But that kind of saved him my rating a bit. So bumping up a little bit. 4.
Okay.
For me personally, bro, very disappointing in Mac Allister. He's passing all over the place, everything. He got the winner, so he's not my man of the match though. I'm gonna give him a 5 because he got the winner. That's how bad he was.
Okay. 5, and you gave him a 4.
Yep.
6.5 and a 6. 6.5 from High Lord, 6 from Red Archer Supporter. And those are all because he had the goals. Oh. All right. Harsh. Macca. The grade's gonna be really harsh. I gave Macca an 8, but I gave him an 8 because look, without Macca's goals, say what you will about his whole game, we're going away with 1 point and possibly falling further off of the pace and not taking advantage. There's only one player that stood up today and got us what we needed to do, and that was Mac Allister, in my opinion. That was Mac Allister.
Yeah, that was Mac Allister, bro. He was on it to get a goal at the end. For some reason, he was like, you know what?
And I agree.
He scored 2 goals.
If he hadn't had that happen, I would have probably gave him a 5 or a 6 or something like that. but I maybe had my thumb on the scale a little bit, but I massively gave him extra points simply because guess what? Without that goal, we are all in a lot different mood right now.
Simple.
Because
That's why
of
I gave him a
McAllister.
5. That's how bad he was there, bro. That was the worst game I've seen him probably ever play for us. He was bad. But he got the winner. So for me, he covers there with the cracks.
The reason why I don't, and why I say it like that, is because I think collectively for the whole, the team was pretty bad. Like the midfield was bad, our front line was bad. And I think that yes, we were fortunate to have Ali step up that once, and then also have our center halves really be solid, bring out a solid performance. We spoke about Kirkaz. But I don't know. I always give him credit for what he does. So you gave him a 4. You gave him a 5, 4 and 5. I gave him an 8. I'll try to meet somewhere in the middle. Give him a 6.5. Can't have the game winner have like a failing grade. All right. Yeah. How about 6.5? Is that okay? A little extra heavy on the thank you. How about that? Some of us are appreciative of the fact that someone stepped up when we needed it. That's all. Not saying these guys aren't. All right. And not saying you're not. Yeah, they're in the chat, by the way. No. All right, let's go and move on to Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones. What would you rate Curtis Jones? Cujo on spot.
2.
A 2.
Awful. Liverpool right back in. You know, him and Sobel were getting done out. It's not their fault. That's down to. I blame the manager for that. But he's better. He'll fall better. And then in the midfield, he's not better. He couldn't control the ball. He's giving passes away. He was horrible too. Lucky to come off. He was lucky not to come off even earlier, to be honest. But it just goes to show where we're at too.
Okay.
I have to agree.
JK.
Even Carragher was taking the rip out of him half time. I don't know. Maybe he weren't ready to come start the game. He probably thought, you know what, work to start it, I'm sub, job done. Mindset weren't ready to realise he's coming into the game. So it was the sort of game you needed a Curtis Jones to step up, you know.
And when's the last time
That's why no one's going to ever be as big as Steven Gerrard for me.
Where did that just come from? Jeez. Curtis Jones catching
bro, you don't understand what I mean, man.
Yeah, I know what you mean, right? But hey. You're playing for
Liverpool. If I was Curtis Jones, right, bro, I'm Curtis Jones now. I'm thinking, you know what? I got another maybe 10 years of football left in me. What are the Liverpool fans going to think of me when I leave and retire and whatever? They're not going to say he's one of the greatest players they've had. They're not.
Wow,
so he's got the
Curtis
chance now
Jones.
to think no one else is coming through who's the scouser. He should have done more, my opinion, in his career he's had. He's improved, don't get me wrong. But today, bro, when he started that game, he didn't know if he was coming to go and kept on losing the ball in the midfield. They surrounded him. He wasn't great. So
Curtis Jones,
give him a 3.
Go ahead. 2 and a 3.
I pick up players all the time, bro. I'm not a gender-driven fan. So as soon as
Curtis
does something terrible, I'll jump on him. But I just felt that he weren't really at the races. No.
Curtis Jones, what do you have to say for yourself?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Jeez, man, that's rough. What is he saying?
And that's what.
Remember, Jones is being sound. Jones is being sound.
There you go.
Bar this game today, I think today he wasn't great, but he's been sound. Going Jones for me.
Wow.
Stop there, isn't it?
All right. All right then. It's not like I gave Curtis Jones that much better. I didn't give him a 2 or 3, but I gave him a 5. But all right, that's the 4. Say 4. Wow, Curtis, poor. All right, all right. How about then for the Egyptian king? The Egyptian king. He looks like he's lost in the desert right now because he is not. He did not look good in this game. It was a shame because I'd hoped that he had some type of momentum that's going to build off of that Brighton game where he finally got his goal. Maybe that propels him to have some confidence. Didn't look like he was happy. I saw some of the responses online about him and Cody and how they were, reacting to being subbed out.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, making them subs, we won the game. Rio was the guy who did that little run on the right, got the ball in the box, sort of
Yeah,
caused
no
a
doubt.
bit of calamity. Not once did Gapco Salah across the ball for Ekatike to score, bro. Let's be real now. When did Gapco ever get the ball in that game and cross the ball for someone in the box to score? Never did it. So you get your ass off. Sorry, that's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're always nice supporters, this lot. You know what I mean? We never take the piss. But for me to get pissed off with Gapco's game today, he was non-existent.
Yeah, wait. We're talking about Salah, but yeah, I got you. Gakpo
Oh yeah,
getting.
I'm just. When
I
I'm
know
talking about
Gakpo
Salah and
getting
Gapco,
hit.
I'm talking to him as one
Yeah,
now. Salah was
I
better than
know.
Gapco. Let's put it that way. But Salah didn't really connect his. Do you remember them goals against Man City, against Tottenham, where the ball was glued to his feet? He was one of the best at it. The distance between his foot and the ball always tight. Now, bro, he can't even control the ball. Why? I think he's trying too hard. I can understand that where that comes from because we've all played the game and that. But I have no problems with Salah. For me, for what he's gave, he's stats wise, he's gave a few goals and assists in the last since he's come back. He had a bad game. Everyone had a bad game, but at the end of the day, we won. So I'm going to give Salah a 5.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm saying I'm just react. I'll wait till Nolante gives his rating before I react.
Hey, I'm gonna be yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That was horrible, man. I'm sorry. I couldn't. Some of these players that get you guys are giving me very generous, man. That was what did Salah do in the ball apart from one pass? He was
Actually,
anonymous.
you know what?
One.
I'm going to
Now
take
you're
away
trying
your
to.
point because of the way he came off the pitch smiling and that. I didn't like that. Like, get off the
Yeah,
pitch,
that
lad. Come on, get
one.
this one.
You lucky you don't have a
Said
0 there.
4.
I
I'll
would have
give him a
given
4.
0. Yeah, but there you go. I mean, anonymous. I mean, even holding the ball is a struggle for him. He looks, yeah, like you said, he looks lost in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
There's no effectiveness,
Can't
and
find
we'll
his
get onto
feet,
the
innit?
other. Yeah, it's a 1, and it's worrying anyway. And he's come back. He's done okay. He hasn't been great. He's done okay, but he's getting to that point where you just think, oh, well, thank you, Salah. You've been a great servant to the club, but you know what? It's either you move on. It's either you move on this summer, or you need to buck up your ideas and get back to the mode we need for next season. One of the two, because it's just all season, man. You know, and circumstances, but he hasn't helped himself. One, and deservedly came off.
But that's why what I've noticed about when Wirtz plays, what Wirtz does, he connects with the players who are going to do damage in a game. So he'll do his like more and more he plays with Salah. Him and him were sort of connecting 1-2s, this sort of stuff. Hence why Salah's more involved in the games in the last few games. Today, Wirtz weren't there. There was no one there getting the ball to Salah, to Ekatike. Ekatike, we'll talk about him later, but no one in the team was doing that job.
But just sorry, 12. I know you're gonna go on. You're gonna say your rate. Just to go on, JK, you're about that. The problem is Wirtz has been in the team with Salah, and it hasn't happened for the large majority of the games. And remember, this is the team that won the league last season without Wirtz, and Salah was on smoke. So I think maybe Wirtz would have helped, but I just think his form's just gone. Whether he's in, Wirtz in, and Wirtz out. He's just gone off the cliff. He really is like in the desert in the sand. That's all. But yeah, go on 12.
Yeah, it's definitely he can't find his feet, man.
I gave him a 3 out of 10. It's tough. I don't know how many. Do you know how many games this is without an open play goal for him?
9, 10 or something.
No, the last game, his last goal was against Aston Villa.
Wow.
Yeah, November. In the Premier League. Well, probably in the Premier League, that is.
Premier League. Yeah.
Yeah, November, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's 9 matches without a goal. It is troubling to see that he is having a difficult season. But I don't have I'm not that far to the point where I'm saying that, he's fallen off a cliff or he's no longer the Salah, all what some people are saying. But yeah, it is troubling to see, because I'm giving him the sentiment of the fact that he's had losses. He's had some serious losses in his life this past season or this past year, and I know how difficult it is sometimes to get yourself into the right shape and frame of mind to produce the kinds of things that you want, and especially when the atmosphere that surrounds you isn't exactly always the most hospitable. Let's see. So let's give him you gave him a 5, right? No, wait, you gave him a 4. Wait, what were your grades again? I'm sorry. I gave him a 3. I think Lonte gave him a 2, right?
Gave him a 1.
You gave him a 1. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
let's sit in the middle with a 3 since he gave him a 3 initially. Still, that's a poor grade. Very poor grade. Let us go to Eketike. Eketike's got to score that goal for me. I don't know about you guys, but he had an absolute sitter of an opportunity, and for some reason, somehow, he wasn't able to put that in the back of the net. He needs service. I'm not going to dispute that, but maybe even showed a couple of flashes here and there, but wasn't able to get that goal for us. I gave Eketike a 5 out of 10. What did you want to give him, Lamonte?
I think Stevie G put the kiss of death on Hugo by saying to him, when we beat Newcastle, that was a Torres finish. He's got shades of Torres, which I disagree. Since that, he's been poor. He was anonymous today. Yes, the service didn't help. Big up Abdul in the chat. Big up Abs. Hope you well, my guy. Service didn't help at all from either side, or in the 10 who was Jones, Sobo, whatever. But the problem with Hugo needs to learn, and he will become a quality player. He drops too deep, sometimes too much, and it's not a slot instruction. And sometimes I'm seeing him running back in this half near the opposition's penalty box. It's that he should be burying that. He should be burying that header, like he said, and he was just too over. Again, he wasn't holding the ball up. He was just losing the ball too much. It just wasn't great. So for me, poor again. 1.
Okay. Wasn't expecting a 1, but okay. JK, where are we going with this rating?
With Hugo, bro, non-existent as well. 4.
You gave him a 4?
Yeah, I'll give him a 4.
Okay.
That's being generous.
5.5. Let's see. Let's go 5, 4. Let's go
Okay.
3. Still not good. Let's go 3.5. That's harsh. That is harsh. Hugo, what do you got to say to some of the ratings you're getting? What do you have to say?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Mm, mm. All right. Oh man. Oh man. All right. All right. All right. Next, then, if that was the rating we gave to him, oh, Mr. Cody, I am going to let me just say now, Cody, not all of the words or things that people say have any reflection of my opinion of you. You are a good Christian man, and you are a good individual, a valiant red. But be prepared, because I'm sure you're not going to get nice words said about you. So go ahead, guys. What did you want to say about Agent Cody? Hope I didn't numb the approach on that one. Yeah, there you go. Big up Norm, by the way. Big up Norm.
Oh yes, big up, no. Agreed with this.
Unacceptable lack of desire and hunger. Oof, oof, oof. Salah and Cody were non-existent.
Yep. JK, you want to go first?
Please
Yeah, let's
discuss this.
go.
Slot
Gap
only
code
plays
2.
Dom at right back to play Kakpo.
Bless up, Norman.
Oh.
Look, at the end of the day, Gapco and Salah's job is to feed the striker. And none of them are doing it.
Mm.
So Gapco 2.
Wow. 4. I don't know about that. I don't know if he says, please discuss this. Slot only plays Dom at right back to play Gakpo. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Slot would have played Gakpo whether he was there or not, he would have played Gakpo.
Yeah, exactly.
Red Orange Supporter says 4. Hyler gave him a 3. What's your rating for him, Delonte?
Again, horrible. No, I'm going with terrible, and yes, I'm trying to brace yourself for these ratings. Man of God, I'm a Christian, believe
Yeah,
in
I
God.
know you are. That's why.
Yeah,
That's why
that's
I
how
jumped.
they. But you gotta be real, When
Because
you're with real people, they tell you the real stuff, whether you like it or not. And that was, Cody's again, like Mo, he's out of form and just non-existent. 1.
there you go. There you go. Just that's what the kids like to say nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna be harsh. At least you didn't give him a 0. All right. I'm sure you would have if you could have, but okay.
Yeah.
But wow. All right. I gave Cody I gave Salah 3. I gave Cody a 2 today. I just thought that I didn't even understand what was Let me see what is. Does he have any stats that could back up him even warranted being on the pitch today? Let me see what his stats are looking like. I know. What is that? What is that?
He really tried hard for you.
Uh,
Write it up for your dude, AJ Coffee.
Agent Cody. Yeah, I'm just doing Agent Cody something. I'm trying to give him something.
Yeah.
Let's see. Agent Cody, what did you have? 1 out of 3 tackles. Oh wow. There you go, Agent Cody. He just gave me something. He was 6 out of 7 for ground duels today. It's good. I've been saying he's been putting in work defensively. He has been putting in work defensively. Other than that, you would not have remembered that he was on the pitch, though. 0 for 1 dribbles, 1 out of 2 crosses, 17 passes, 11 out of 17 for his passing. That's poor. Oops, the wrong button there. Shots, 1 shot, 1 offsides. There you go. All right. I tried, Agent Cody. I tried. I did my best to be your to be Q and give you some type of gadget to get you out of that jam, but not gonna happen. So 1 and I gave him a 2. Let's go for 2. Jeez. Rough stating. And I agree, Red Archer supporter. I think the reason why he's not, I think the one reason why Rio is not picked over Cody is because Cody provides defense and gives you a little bit more presence defensively than Rio does. And considering our offense is just not clicking, I think that's the reason why he relies on Cody as much as he does. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to give Cody a pass or simply, playing defense. But at least he's doing something. He's not doing nothing, I guess you could say. That's the reason why I brought up the stats. 6 out of 7 ground duels is pretty decent. Someone trying to get measured in. 1 clearance, 1 block shot, 4 recoveries, 0 out of 1 for aerial duels, and that's that. All right, people, let's do it. Let's do it. C for defense. There you go. Let's get to these subs real quick. Rio Bravo. What do you want to get for Rio? I thought Rio was phenomenal. There was a stat that I saw. Online that was wild. Rio completed more dribbles, had more attempted more dribbles, and created as many chances as both Salah and Cody combined. That's bad, considering he only played 20 minutes. And played tactically on both wings because he played on the left and he played on the right side too. What'd you give? I'll give my ratings. I already spoke on him. I gave Rio an 8 today. I thought he was a good burst of energy that we needed in this game, and his different because of his.
But he didn't see the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really see the ball when he came on. He only at the end. He showed a bit. I think he showed 7 out of 10 for me for showing what he did.
Okay. Amate?
Yeah, Rio, like I said, he showed the power down the youngster, and it is a shame that a 17-year-old had to come and ball out. I'll give him a 7.5. Helped set up, helped assisted, Macca's first goal, and he was excellent. Dribbled, took men on, and that's what we needed. Something, and Forrest couldn't stop him when he came on 7.5 for Rio.
I'm gonna round up, but I'll keep it low. I think I'll be minus. 7.5, and an 8. I just thought that he changed the tempo of the game with his step overs and him taking on fullbacks. A brilliant cross too that he got off as well. Rio got 7.5 from Hyler, 7.5 from Red Archer Supporter. Kind of says Rio changed the game and gave us that spark that ended up giving us the win. I agree. Question for the panel: what do you think of Rio off the ball? What do you think of Rio off the ball? Either one of you can answer this one.
Not all that, but again, he's more an attacking player. He's just bang average, to be honest. Yeah, he could do better, but again, that game with game time and calm and structured. So it's more of a finisher, like a proper winger, like finishing in the other half of the opposition box. That's it, really.
Yeah, I think time. I mean, we all can remember this. He is a youngster, but I think with time you'll see him get a little bit more strength. More he'll be able to become a little bit more physical, grow into his body more, and off the ball, I think that he won't get bullied as much as we might possibly see. That's again the reason why I say, at least the reason why I think that this coach chooses to pick Cody over Rio, because if it was just on form and actual spark and all that glitz and glam that we're talking about, Rio would be in easily over Cody. But yeah, it's a lot to put on the young man's shoulders. Federico Chiesa, a guy who I thought was going to get our game winner, but did not. All the same. Federico Chiesa. What would you give Chiesa? Okay, well, what was I saying? Go ahead. Direct, energetic.
He was, but I've seen better performances from him.
I do agree with that too.
Yeah, trip back, but when he had the ball dribble, he lost it once or twice. But what his words, I'll just give him an accurate 5. Yeah, just give him a 5.
Okay. JK.
Can you repeat that, bro?
Chiesa.
Chiesa. Well, you just like seeing him and Rio coming on. It just gave me a bit of glimmer of hope that maybe we'll totally attack and stuff. Like for me, Chiesa is seeing more game time in the last 2 months or last 6 weeks than we've seen him all season. I'd even start Chiesa against West Ham next week instead of Gakpo. So Chiesa, Gakpo, Chiesa, Ekatike, and Salah against West Ham. Because for me, Hugo don't get the service he needs as a striker, bro. Chiesa starting in the game might be a thing we can use, man. But I'm going to give Chiesa a 5.
Okay. I gave him a 6. I'll give him a 5.5, as agreed. All right.
Yeah, but a God node to Chiesa, but I'd rather take a Chiesa than a God node for Gakpo. Gakpo is non-existent again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Non-existent, man. So I'd rather see a Chiesa who at least tries something.
Okay. Okay. Um, do you want to rate Robbo, or they came in kind of late? They came in the 82nd minute. I don't know if that's necessarily a lot of time to get.
Yeah, Robert did okay. You know what I mean?
I'll have to give them. I'll save them. That would be rated. Let's put an NA. And for Gomez, same thing.
I agree with what Norman says there. It's a gamble. He's a cautious guy who likes gambling. Is how I see Slot.
Mm-hmm.
Like he
how the
gambles the
rate.
first half.
Mhm.
He gambles like the start and the end of a game. Yeah, you just don't say to the team, "Hey lads, let's destroy this team in the first 30 minutes, and then we can chill."
Mhm.
You don't do that, and then in
This
that
is
time, he gives the opposition a chance to get into the game.
this is what the stats rated the players as. The lowest rating being for Curtis Jones on this list, at least for the starters. And then this is what they had him rated as 83rd minute. I say 82nd. 83rd minute is when they came on, Joe Gomez and Robbo. And then this is what the ratings were for the players: 6.4, 7.3, 6.9, 6.9. As in stat wise, that's what they were looking at. And the highest rated players, according to SofaScore, were Dominic, Ibu, and Ali, and Ortega Anderson, who had a great game. I say great game, as in had a very good game for his side.
He did a few top saves, Ortega. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Hudson Odoi at 7.2. It's kind of fitting. I usually when we play against these teams, the players that we're linked to or players that we're quote unquote interested in maybe going for, they tend to put on little displays of little auditions for us.
What did you think about it, Anderson?
I thought he was a solid player. I don't know if I go for it. No, I'm not going for the £100 million evaluation because Forrest, you know how
No.
Forrest's owner is. He's not going to let that go. He's not going to let the player go for cheap, and he's going to try to get over on you. So I'm not really pressed on pushing the evaluation for him.
Look, we're going to go into the slot topic.
Yeah, and
when you look at the result, when you look at the result, and the Bikovic got the job done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you look at the final details, that was a bad game, man. That was a bad game. And as Norman just said it, it's a gamble, man. He's going to get caught out. And it isn't like we haven't got the players to play faster football. We've got the players to do it. But as soon as Wirtz was out the team, has anyone got any info about the Wirtz situation? What happened? I'd like to know.
It was just a muscle strain.
I just felt like we were, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was, yeah.
So, what's it looking like for next week?
That I don't know, but
sore back.
He said Arne Slot insists that Florian Wirtz is not sustained, not NOT, sustained a serious injury after he was withdrawn from Liverpool's starting 11 during the pregame. So
probably precautious.
I think it was.
So Sandy's got a week off anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
West Ham is Saturday at 3, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's Saturday at 3. So there's a week there.
Well, let's go into this coach evaluation. I'll give off some of these comments from the chat before I do. Nigel says, "Good to see you, Lee." Oh, that's not me.
Oh,
Sorry.
hi, Nigel.
That's speaking to Nigel. My
Good
apologies.
to see you, man.
Nigel. Good to see you all the same.
I'm Football Madness. Good
Yeah.
to see you, man.
Yeah. Same. Football Madness. And I know he misspelled that on purpose, but he's saying Slot is an intellectual politician, not a motivational leader.
Yeah, I've not seen him motivate nothing.
Slot
And
ball.
like for me, everyone's got that in them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
To be motivational, you've got to be like that sometimes in life. You know what I mean? Even if it's for the cameras, who gives a damn? But motivate the players, man.
Slot ball has always required fast wingers. He hasn't got that at Liverpool. Red Armchair supporter thinks if he stays, he'll demand fast wingers in the summer, and that's what we're linked with so far. Norm is saying he's not calling for Slot to go either. He's saying he has to find a pattern, a way to not be in the back, on the back foot like that in first halves. We are going to get done soon by playing within ourselves. I agree. This was on Anderson. I brought that up earlier. Paul Matten says, let's face it, guys, it was a horror show and the win glosses over it. Abdul says we were lucky. It was a bad, poor and shocking game today against Nottingham Forest. Anything else that I want to put in there before I get into this comments? All right. What are you going to say about Mr. Arnie Slot then? I'll let you go first, JK. What's your rating on Arnie Slot?
Tell you the truth, you got a lucky win there, didn't he? 4 out of 10.
What? Okay. What did you give him, Nolante? Sorry.
Oh, Arnie, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because the selection again, 1 or 2, I feel we could have changed, and he tried certain things, and it looked like a real draw. And his subs half worked. The subs made the game with the game changes. So that said, we won. Oh, I think I'll give him any more as a 6.
Give him a 6. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. I gave him a 4. I got to give him credit for the late impact of the substitutions. I mean, it is. I take away points for the fact that we started off slow once again. It was something I warned against, but gave him a 4 out of 10. It's a struggle when you look at the lineup. Let me pull up the lineup here again. Excuse me. When you look at the lineup and you see that on the bench we had Chiesa, Rio, then Joe Gomez, Robbo, Mamadashvili, Woodman, Calvin Ramsey, Trey Neone, and Morrison. What's really like a struggle is I understand we're hurting with selections and players that are available. But I don't know how I've never seen a coach call up. Not just I mean, it's one thing in the Champions League when you can have what is it, like 12 subs or something like that, right? for Premier League, I've never seen a coach call up 2 goalkeepers more than Arne Slot for some obscenely obtuse reasoning that he has to explain to me. I know we are tight on fielding a 9-player substitute bench, but why we have to go with 2 subs and the two of those subs being goalkeepers is mad. So that knocks us down to 7 players. And then you throw on the fact that unless you twist his arm, he's not going to play Ramsey. If you're not playing Ramsey, you're certainly not playing Morrison. There's been talk about Trey Neone wanting to leave the team, by the way. Let me take this thing off this last comment. Trey Neone there's talk about him wanting to leave the team, by the way. I think Trey Neone is a promising talent. But Trey Neone doesn't get minutes, and he's getting frustrated. It's a wonder. You have Robbo. I looked at when I was seeing that we were struggling the way we were this game, and I went to go look at the bench. I'm like, we have 2 offensive players on the bench that he can go to. 2 players. 1 player he knows is a talent, but doesn't give him the minutes that he's probably warranted in Rio. Another player that he doesn't believe in Chiesa. And then you have Joe Gomez and Robbo, who are defensive players. I don't have a problem with them being subbed in, like for the reason I gave earlier. But it is wild when you look at the subs and you're just thinking it's deflating, because you can say what you want. I'm about to get off my soapbox. Don't worry. You can say what you want about last season's player choices, but I'll tell you this: if I knew that if Elliott was on the bench, I would at least have a little bit of maybe put in Elliott. Maybe we get a spark. Maybe get a goal here. I know there's people that don't like Nunez, Mr. McKenna included. I'm calling you out because it really does, anger me sometimes the way you treat Nunez in the likes. But even if you go and had Nunez on the bench, there still would have been some of us saying, maybe there's a chance we get a spark. Maybe there's a chance we can get something out of this game still. We were beyond fortunate to get the result that we had today. And that's not a good thing to say. I'm not saying. But the point is, I don't know if it's about what Arne Slot wants anymore sometimes. And more so about what this team needs. And that's why going forward, I'm not going to be talking about, we need to get this for Arne Slot or that for Arne Slot. It's about getting what Liverpool need to go forward. Because Arne Slot's not going to be our coach forever. And if we're holding on to these types of results, I guess Nottingham Forest is bottom of the league. Nottingham Forest, that is troubling. And again, I will say it again. I don't know why this coach continues to come up with lineups that have consistently had 2 goalkeepers in the reserves That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Find some. You're saying to me that we don't have one player in our youth academy that could be a smidgeling of a hope of being able to put out there for 5-10 minutes to get a goal out of, like we did. Like,
Very
is that
worried.
what you're saying? That's
Very worried.
troubling. So, all right, off my soapbox. I can breathe again. Woosah, get out there. That is just frustrating. So, all right. With that said, I gave him 4. You gave him what were your ratings again? No, I totally got washed on that one. I gave him a 4. What'd you give Arnie Slot?
Slot. We got again the right back situation, and I think he could have made changes in the midfields, but he instead of putting on Joey whoever on, he switched Cook Jones to Sobo, and Robertson and Gomez. Well, again, maybe Robertson wasn't needed at the end for me. One of them. Well, I don't think we needed to play Robertson, but for once he put Chiesa and Rio on earlier. So I hope that's something you can think about in the future.
I gave him a point for
minutes.
that. 1 point.
Yeah.
That's where he. Otherwise, we'd got a 3. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So we won, so he gets a little bit of leeway. So yeah, 5 for me.
5. Okay. JK, what'd you give Arnie Slot?
4 out of 10, bro. He plays the gambling game too much. Too cautious, and then expects us not to be at risk of losing a game. It can work, don't get me wrong, but you got to let your hair down, Arnie. I know you ain't got any, but maybe get a wig and chuck it off. I don't know, do something.
Gotta let your toupee down. Gotta let your toupee down or something. I don't know. Maybe. Oh man. Wig down or whatever. There you go. Nothing wrong. In fact, he has no hair. Oh man. But he needs to definitely yeah, I don't know. Keep doing what you're doing, Arnie. That's all I'll say. If that's what you believe. It's the way forward. Man of the match. Man of the match time. You'll have to tell me who your man of the match is because I already put in a graphic for my man of the match. But I thought this game has some very solid performances, but who was your man of the match? I gave my man of the match to Macca. Who'd you give your man of the match to?
I'm gonna give it to Virgil, bro.
Okay, Virgil. All right. Who'd you give your man of the match to?
Mine was the joint one. I'll give it to Virgil and Canati.
Okay. Kanate got High Lords player of the match. Abdul was with me. He picked Macca as the man of the match, but said no one played good for us. Gives an honorary nod to Virgil van Dijk. Let's see. Is there a question for us that I missed? Oh no, I didn't. I did not read that autobiography. But all right, and DVD got a shot from Red Armchair supporter. Okay. All right. I just gave the answer away. Maybe. Do you know how many last-minute winners we have now. Take this down. Do you know how many last-minute winners we have in Premier League history? Can you take a guess? I already gave the answer, so it's not that hard. It's not that difficult. Either one of you can take a guess.
Can you say it again, bro? What you said?
How many last-minute winners do we have in Premier League history?
Oh, we've got the most. I know that.
We do have the most.
Yeah, I know
Premier
that.
League history.
Number
How
wise,
many? Yeah. What is
I'm
the
not
number?
sure, you know. This season 4 has Norman. Let's go with 29.
29 is your guess. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What would be your guess, Nolante? Yes, and this is Premier League history, in the history of the Premier League. Want to take a guess, Nolante? Maybe not. I'm seeing if anyone gives a guess out there. 36 is right under supporter. It's a good guess. 29, 36. Any other takers? Norm, you want to? I already showed you the answer, so hopefully maybe someone saw it, but I accidentally showed it to you at least. But let's see. Any more guesses? Norm, you want to take a guess at this one? Football Madness, Hylor, Bueller. No? All right. The answer is, I'll just bring it up for you guys. 48. 48.
48.
The answer.
Wait, I got it. 48.
Oh yeah. There you go. 48 last-minute winners. That is 8 more than, or no, it's more than 8 more. Actually, that's 12 more than Arsenal, and 14 more than United. But yes, 48 last-minute winners. We are the cardiac kids, for sure, of the Premier League. We are the cardiac kids, as they call it. All right. So, with that said, there was. I'll do a quick little session of what's being said. It's what I'm gonna try to make this a little routine. And what's being said means what is being said on the airwaves or in the Twitterverse and all the other stuff. And what was being said is questions of, is Salah's drought structural? Is it a psychological thing, or is it simply his form? There's been talk about Rio. Does the performance demand that he needs more minutes in this team? Jamie Carragher came out with this and said, quote, "That's one of the biggest robberies I've seen in the Premier League this season. It really is," he says. But I will say, but what I will say is Rio came on in the 77th minute. He did more in 15 minutes than Cody and Mo did, or Gakpo and Salah did in the whole game. He changed the game, this kid. He needs to be starting games now. He's that good. That's pretty wild. Do you agree with what Jamie had to say about the game, or with that comment at least?
You're gone, Jose.
No, go on. I heard it all about Jamie about what the team.
No, what he said about that. Do you agree with that, with his comment?
Which one? What about Curtis Jones? Which one?
No, he said. He says, I will say this: Rio came on in the 77th minute. He did more in 15 minutes than Gakpo and Salah did in the whole game. He changed the game. This kid He needs to be starting games now. He's that good.
I agree with that. Of course, he done more than more. Yeah. Personally, I mean, personally, in my head, I wouldn't start him, but because the form of Cody Mo is so bad, at this point, you might as well just start him. You might as well just start him. Yeah.
You agree? Go ahead, JK. You want to say something?
Look, at the end of the day, man, the way football is, it has its ups and downs, and that's like life, you know. But I just feel sometimes we as fans can show a bit more thankfulness in what players have done, like Salah, Alisson, whoever, Virgil van Dijk. But you've seen it in the way fans go after Salah and this, that, and the that. Football hasn't got patience no more, man. Hence why for me, Salah's got class in him. You know, he could pop up with the winner against West Ham next week. It's in him, you know. Hence why I'm not going to go after Salah, Virgil, none of these guys. They've gave all their soul to us, and they're going to have bad games. It happens in careers, you know. But for sure, they can play better. Don't get me wrong.
Okay. Well, look, this was not a masterclass. This was not dominance. This was not control. This was not a good game, period. Some players had definitely decent games. I'm not slating some of the players' performances by Virgil and Ibu and even Ali, or obviously my praise for Rio earlier, but this was not a good game. It did not look good. It did not look like we are a team that's found our rhythm in the right step. The body language for some players was definitely off. We didn't play well for 90 minutes for the most part. But all that matters is that 96th minute, we did. For one brief moment, we played well, or maybe two, even though one was taken away from us. And because of such, we got 3 points. We got a clean sheet. I know that still leaves a lot of questions open to interpretation. But our standards remain high. You could tell by the way that we rated this team today that, you know, I'd say 95% of all the ratings were pretty much in line with each other, simply because we all watched the same game, maybe from different eyes, but certainly the same game. And those players know that. Macca said the same. But ultimately, we got to stand up, appreciate this smash and grab that we got, and move on. Move on. We've got some big games coming up. And what I mean by big games, at least, is that we've got to keep pace. We can't rely on Chelsea and United to slip up and lose ground and give us free hits. We've got a home game against West Ham. We then go to Wolves, where we've seen Arsenal perform poorly against a Wolves team there. And, you know, so, and get humbled. So we must not play that same pattern or same character. We have to get some type of momentum against West Ham, a team that I think we can get some real momentum against, and then go on the road and not allow for us to get into that same nullified, typecast play to our opponent's level, in my opinion. And that's what we'll do. With the support of you and the support of all of us, hopefully we can lift up these players' spirits to know that we stand with them. So, whew. What would you like to say to the people before we push out from this episode? JK, you want to say something to the people?
Look, bro, football's it's an up and down game. That's why we always love it and stuff. And realistically, I was sort of confident we'd get the win today. But 85 minutes into the game, I was thinking, God, Lord of mercy, that was pretty poor. Where we're going to get the win here, and especially when Wirtz sort of news came through, he weren't playing. I was like, oh, it isn't great. Look, we didn't have to play the Champions League knockout sort of game where we get to the next stage and stuff. But the way it looks like, it could be that we could meet Galatasaray again. I'll take that. I watched their game against Juventus. They weren't great, but they hammered Juventus 5 goals, you know. This season isn't great. But because of the caliber and quality of player we have within our squad, sky's the limit in a weird sort of way. It's been a good result this today. It's a big result. Every game's a big result now for Arnie.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, he's made that sort of bed for himself. It's exciting as well. You know what I mean? As well, you know, when are we going to get top 4? Are we going to get Champions League football next year and stuff? Can we win the Champions League this year? So there's a lot of ifs and buts, but I just feel sometimes that Arnie needs to really put his foot down and batter a team. You know?
Good luck.
We beat West Ham.
Good luck.
5. I think we beat West Ham 5-1, was it? In the away leg game? We did them good. So we've seen in games where we've scored 3 or 4. Karabag, we did 6 against them. Brighton, we did 3 against them. Or was it 4? Something like that. Yeah, I don't know, man. As long as the fans respect their situation, the manager, and when he's gone, you can talk about him how much you want. I don't care. But while he's the manager, just give the guy some peace. You know what I mean? He wants to win. He's not here for a laugh. You know what I mean? But he don't do himself no favors. That's the thing. Got to beat West Ham next week.
It's got to. It's got to beat him. Nate, what do you got to say?
Not much. It's been a strange one. It's yeah, we've won. We're glad for the win. But we made it hard work. But you know, again, you can't complain. You know, well, we can complain actually. Sorry, I mean, obviously we're level with Chelsea now, and obviously, I think it's 3 points ahead of United or 2. No. 2, something like that.
Oh, where we're at, I can tell you.
Yeah, we're level with Chelsea, but United, are we 2 points ahead of them with the game in hand, or is it 1?
I'll tell you in a second. It's I think we're still we are tied on points with, there's 3-way tie, 4 points. It goes Chelsea's ahead of us in goal differential.
Yeah, I know that one.
I mean,
yeah.
way ahead of us. 45 points they sit on. We sit with Manchester United 45 points as well. So Everton beating Manchester United would be a big result. A win or even a draw will move Manchester United into 4th place by themselves.
Yeah, so we take it game by game. There's a lot to do, obviously. Obviously, I've had quite a few arguments today with people on the tube and in Brian's show. Saying about it's all the manager, the manager. Everyone's collective at fault.
Mm.
And the manager, the players need to listen to instructions. But yeah, they do. But at the same time, the players are not babies. They don't need nappies. They need to be collywalled. Yes, to be coached, but they need to do the simpler things. So we just have to keep winning. That's it. Pretty simple, but it's our fault, really. It really is our fault. So yeah, we'll move. But grateful for the Mac win, and we just move on. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is true. I did hear. I did hear Wolfie's response and crash out over the game today. Look, we got the win. That's all that's all that matters, But to Wolfie and to his fellow Nottingham Forest supporters,
Congratulations, you played yourself.
all right. So there we have it. I don't know if you could hear that one or not. That was a little, maybe it's too low for you guys. Make sure you guys hear it.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
There you go. We are gonna just move on. 1-0 win. Thank you for everyone that stuck with us through the start and to the finish of this one. Got our ratings in, got our comments in, and then likes. The bottom line is we continue to move on. We take these 3 points and we move, people. All right. So tomorrow, let's get together, have another conversation. We'll certainly be doing so during, most likely, when that Manchester United game is going to be live. So let me see what time that game starts tomorrow. Do you know what time the game starts, by any chance?
Oh, it's 8 o'clock kickoff.
Okay, yeah. So we'll certainly be going live right around the kickoff, maybe like a half hour before kickoff of that game. Not to say that we're going to be watching the game. We're not doing a watch along. It'd be like a in the back along or something. I don't know what you would call it. Make sure I don't get clipped up for that. But all right, people. We will yeah, I know. Wolfie is a very loud and boisterous Nottingham Forest fan. He has definitely taken the mantle of villain or heel of the internet when it comes to Premier League talk. Let's put it that way. He is a very vocal and funny person. I like Wolfie, but he is funny. He is pretty funny. So, all right, people. We're gonna be back tomorrow. Again, we'll be back right as that probably a little bit right before that game kicks off for United, a very important game. Hopefully, our blue brothers on the other side of Merseyside can do the duty of holding it down, but we'll see. Other than that, people, keep your heads up, stay positive. Let's keep it moving, and up the Reds each and every time. We'll see you soon. And yeah, exactly. You're not going to hear me say that too often, but come on, please. Yeah, there you go. All right, people. We will see you tomorrow. Take care, guys.